is going on here? Why do I look like this? Aha, there it is. Gotta love technology. Okay, guys, so this is going to be a probably 30-minute live. Something very interesting is happening right now, and I want to be very transparent on exactly why this is happening, because these isomax sessions are really starting to compound, and I'm almost kicking myself for not programming myself this way before, but low-key, it's kind of not my fault because I had to deal with injuries at the beginning of this channel's history. So this is what's happening now with my lifting isn't what it's what I wanted to happen um back in 2020, but I just had so many imbalances and injuries back then that it simply was just not going to happen back then. So here's what's going on. So you probably noticed my short yesterday, which was the 425 squat. So to explain why exactly that's happening, I really want to be transparent with my eating. I want to be transparent with my lifting routine, and I want to be transparent with my isometrics. And I also really want to be transparent with I think I'm using the wrong words. Like I've been transparent the whole channel. Like OG squad members, y'all know it's like that. The one thing that I was pushing from the very beginning is transparency. So I just want to make sure y'all understand this is why these big movements are happening. Okay, so I also want to explain the cardio, just everything that I did not have in 2020 when I started the channel, and I was all about just the ISO chain. And I still love it's in the corner right now. I still love the IsoMax. It is the isometric tool that I use to develop raw strength gains. So let's start with the easiest subject to tackle first, which is the isomax. So I believe last live stream I talked about how I was going to do the Bruce Lee Bob Hoffman Super 8, which is what Bruce Lee took his Bob Hoffman's iso chain routine. So I have been doing that. The numbers have been okay. Honestly, if you want a good representation of my number increases, if you remember my Sweet 16 video, one of the first videos on the channel, it's a little less than that. So I'm definitely getting okay increase. I guess is about what I expected coming back into the Bob Hoffman. And that includes the leg exercises, which are we have a guest, by the way. Hello, buddy. Hello, buddy. That's Nimbus, by the way. Hello, buddy. Hello. You can't see his little tail wagging. So he's gonna come over. Hello. So we started this Bob Hoffman routine. I had just worked up to 365. So I was at 365 for my squat. Right around there is where I started to notice how my legs were feeling mid squat. And I want you guys, like, once this live stream is done, I want you guys to look through the shorts so you can literally see the progression over the months. Because what I was doing was I was using the isomax and I was training at mid position. So I was not training the isomax at 90 degrees. I was training it right around strap 10. So my legs are, in fact, if you look at the short that I put yesterday, you can see the exact strap that I was at, right? So I'm training my body to be really efficient at that angle. So what does that mean? That means that is my most powerful angle, strap 10, right? And remember, we get strength spillovers of up to 15 degrees, 20 degrees in either direction. So if I'm training here, I'm strongest here, but but I'm still strong here and here as well. So this range has just been skyrocketing on my squat. So what does that mean? The very top of the squat and the very bottom of the squat are what need the most help. So I personally didn't feel like I was in trouble in those moments, especially at the bottom because of what I'm about to talk to you guys about next, which is yielding isometrics coming in freaking clutch for this program. I'm just talking about the Zercher squat isomax right now. So we're literally going to go in order on why this squat is going up so fast. By the way, I'm only 178 pounds. So this is is it 2.5 times my weight? No, it's not 2.5. I think it's closing in on 2.5. But double 178 was 1734, 340. Maybe it is 2.5. I don't know. Y'all can do the math. But I think it might be 2.5 times my squat. Now I'm wearing wraps because I'm 35, so screw squatting without the wraps. I wear the neck pad. Yeah, you can put a clown thing on me. I don't care. I don't want that heavy ass bar on my I don't care. I don't care. As long as the weight is moving, that's all I care about. So I have gotten really strong at that angle. It is an improvement that you can feel in the squat. Like when I'm down at the bottom, and I start to push back up, there's a little bit of struggle. When I hit that mid-range, the mid-range from the Zercher squat, yo, I'm gone. The only time I struggled, I did a 405, what's today? The 23rd. 2 weeks ago was so weird. Like I just mentally wasn't there for that rep. So like you could see me struggle on the 405, but then I did a 415 after that and just went right up. That middle range is moving. And it's for the same principle that we always talk about, which is Hebb's rule. Muscle fibers that wire together, fire together. This is not bro science. This is literally exercise science just coming in clutch every single time. So if you guys have sticking points, I highly recommend using overcoming isometrics, not yielding, overcoming isometrics for this. That's literally one of the best ways to use OI if you are a hybrid lifter, where you lift in a weight room or you're doing calisthenics and you just want more strength. This is it, baby. This is it right here. Okay, so I want you guys to understand why these bigger squats are going up. I don't know what I'm going up to. I'm just kind of feeling it week by week. I do barbell squats every Friday. Sometimes things come up like this coming week, I can't because I have my wedding coming up, so there's gonna be no squatting. I might be able to get it like Monday or Tuesday, but it's kind of iffy. So I'm probably just gonna do a all isomax day this coming week. Okay, so I wanted to make sure that that's done. Here's the second part, right? So for OG subscribers, y'all know that I had a really messed up lower back. In 2018, I pulled my lower back trying to get spicy with a deadlift, and the deadlift spiced me up instead. I was going for 500. I got it. I went for 505. It was a little sketch, but I did get it. And then my ego took over at 28 years old, and I was like, I can do it. So I put an extra 10 total on it, and I went for 515. I was like, I'm like, oh. Like you could feel like the air come out of me. Like I will never forget that pain for as long as I live. I slowly put that bar down, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. I can't move. So that I've been, bless you, buddy. That I've been dealing with, what was that, 2018, right? So about 7 years. Just kind of babying it. Obviously, I could not squat for many months after that. I had to watch my knees. My leg strength plummeted because of that lower. It was just a whole cascading effect. 2 years later, here comes the iso chain, but like I couldn't even do a simple body weight lunge. Like that's how bad my legs deteriorated from that one freaking deadlift fail. So I've had to build. I'm not just gonna quit, so I'm gonna build myself back up. And that's when I ran into Dragon Door and reading about all the stuff. I was like, oh, this is probably gonna help me, and it did. But I still had the imbalances, so that's why my raw gains were just kind of okay. So I had to work on that. I had to work on that for a while. I was 2 years into rehabbing myself and fixing all the imbalances, and then here comes the appendectomy surgery. Lost my core. If you do not have a core, you have nothing. So I lost like half my strength. I had to rebuild in 2022. Excuse me. It's this is it, man. Like this is just life. It's life being life. You know, you can either roll over and die or say bring it on. You don't know who I am. So that's the option that I chose. So I was like, bring it. So I worked on it. Here's what I found. This is going into the next thing. I know. Blah, 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 right? Yielding isometrics. You ready for this? My glutes. My glutes were so weak. My glutes were so weak. So here's what I did. I put yielding isometrics on the hip thrust machine. We have a hip thrust machine at the gym. If we didn't have it, I really like the pin selector machine. You see these at like, it's like a Life Fitness machine. You see these a lot at Planet Fitness. But it's like where you grab here and then you like, you're standing and then you drive your exactly. Yeah, you drive your foot back and it works your quadricep and your glutes. I really do like that machine. That would be my second choice. My third choice would be the barbell hip thrust. I mean that once it gets heavy, you probably need like a pad so it doesn't like dig into your pelvic bone. But working on time under tension and getting all the benefits of the isometric tension, because it's going to make not only your connective tissues better, even in the hip area, right? But also you're getting triple the amount of time under tension. So I would normally just go up and down, about 1 second. My tempo was usually 101. 1 second in concentric, no pause, 1 second eccentric, go into the next rep. For this one, I've been going 5 seconds of time under tension, 1, 3, 1. Squad, I'm telling you, if this didn't make a freaking difference, like such a difference, and I wanted to post like shorts of it, but like, I mean, I don't know how this sounds, but it like a video of a dude getting hip thrust just doesn't get views. And it's not that it's about views. So I felt like the only way to really show everyone how valuable the hip thrusts were was to include it in an entire video based off of like, here's what my leg program was. By the way, that is coming soon. Like, I just want to make sure that everything is compiled correctly before I, am essentially telling people, hey, invest your time in this video. So I want to make sure there's something worth investing your time into. And trust me, it is. So I have worked up to, what am I at? 320, 320 pounds on this machine. With the 3-second hold, I am almost at 10 reps. So just so you guys know what this is. Now I can do, you can put a total of 5 plates on each side. So what is that? 450 pounds, right? I'm not there yet. I can do 360 if I'm not doing an isometric pause. So I just up and down. I could throw 4 plates on there. I'd probably go higher than that, but I just never really cared to. That is no problem. But essentially adding a 3-second pause at the top end of the hip thrust, right here, a 3-second pause. Think about it. If your time under tension was 101, that's 2 seconds of total time under tension per rep. If you had a 3-second pause, that's 5 seconds. You're over double. So now you're getting over double the amount of time under tension per set. Right, so you have doubled every time you do a hip thrust. You're doubling your results, right? And you're getting all the benefits of the isometric. So all that to say, when you see me squat, right, when I'm at the bottom, I feel my glutes engaged like they never have before. There's so much time under tension. There's so much strength there. There's so much muscular endurance there that I don't feel like it's gonna go to my lower back. When my glutes were weak, right to my lower back. I blew my back out on 315 our first year in the channel. There's a video that said I'm not doing barbell squats anymore, and it showed a video of me in like this dark blue and a dark blue shirt, or was it still, I was wearing silver and dark blue Under Armour or something, and I had a big X over the thumbnail and it said stop or something like that. So you guys can find, if you scroll down, I'm not asking you to do that, but if you're ever curious, just so you know that, again, transparent, that's where I blew my back out again, which was a re-injury from the 2018 things. I was 3 years later, just so you guys have a reference of timeline. So I've been working on my glutes so strong. if you work on your glutes, the chances of you having a lower back issue are significantly lowered. Here's another thing. Speaking of lower back, hyperextensions. So I am doing hyperextensions once a week. So you want to talk about time under tension. So I am doing a 7-second time under tension for this hyperextension. For those of you guys that don't know, so hyperextension is where your body is at an angle. I know I don't have any images and stuff like that. And at the hip, you drop down this way, right? And then you just bring your body all the way back up, and you drop down at the hips. This is going to work your spinal erectors. So you'll see a lot of people use that machine and just do 1-0-1. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with a regular tempo for that. But if you really want to bulletproof your lower back, you throw some yielding isometrics in there. So I am doing a 7-second 1-5-1. So I start here, I go all the way up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way down, all the way up, 1, 2, oh my God. Now, and I'm holding a 25-pound plate like the, okay, buddy, okay. I'm holding a 25-pound corgi as I'm doing, he's like 40 pounds. And that burn is real, man. Like that's one of the toughest freaking posterior train exercises I do. Like I'm always groaning, and you rarely see people doing that machine, let alone with the isometric pause. Okay, so I'm bulletproofing my back, my spinal erectors with that exercise. The glutes are up. My core and the bottom part of my squat have never felt more stable because of those yielding isometrics, right? So that went from 2 seconds to 4, 6. That the time under tension for my lower back has now tripled. Take that into consideration. What would tripling your effort do for you? My guess is probably a freaking lot. And I highly recommend, obviously, work your way up to it, but these are game changers. Here's another thing. Calves, right? So when we talk about your squat, calves don't tend to be talked about that much, which is a shame because they are part of the squat. Now, obviously, the major movers are what? Quadriceps, hamstrings, and glutes. I would argue that core is just about as important as the glutes, but that's just my opinion, and I'm going to get to that next. That's the final piece. But I have not been using the Isomax for my calves. I've instead gone balls to the wall with 2 exercises for my calves. The first one is a yielding isometric on a hack squat. I'll post this for my community post today so you guys can see it. So I'm doing 500 pounds on the calf raise with a 3-second isometric pause. I'm sorry, 2-second isometric pause at the top. 500 pounds sounds like a lot. I mean it is. So that's 450, 545-pound plates and a 25 per side. At the beginning of last summer, so 2024, right around like June, I started doing this at 2 plates. And I slowly worked up. The only sorry if my voice cut out. The only X factor there was what was I doing? What was I doing? Oh yeah, I started with it was like a reverse band on it. So I started with the bands first, then I took the bands off and I was just doing the raw weight. There's one of the hack squats where there's like a seat, so you can bring the seat up, so you're not like laying back, like you're up like that. You can focus on the calves. So I'm doing those. Started at 180s. Then honest to God, all I did was I just upped it by like 5 to 10. When I was able to do all 3 sets of 20 reps, by the way, 3 sets of 20. Look at all this time under tension, guys. I went up and just slowly over the course of months. This is just where we ended up being. My calves have increased a lot. Now, there are just genetic freaks out here that just have freaking bowling pin calves. Dude, good for you. I don't want to say my calves were popsicle sticks before, but they were not in a good place. They look really healthy right now. I would like to add another inch to them, and I will be totally okay with the way that they look. That said, the other thing that so just so you guys know, 1-2-1, 4 seconds of time under tension. For each calf raise, 3 sets of 20. That's a lot of time under tension. That's a lot of hypertrophy stimulant. And also really good for the Achilles tendon. You know, being in that heel raised position and holding it there, that's really good for it. The other thing, the tibialis anterior raise, another piece of machinery that is criminally overlooked. I personally have never even heard of this machine until about 4 years ago. I saw Kai Green doing a calf raise exercise, superset, where he was doing the seated calf raise. So he was going for reps. He would go to failure and then turn around and slide his feet into this tibialis anterior machine and start getting the front part of his calf. And I'm like, what is that? I have never seen that before. So he started doing that, and he was like, if you want the side of your calf to stick out, not just the gastroc that comes out from the back, I mean the side. You want true 3D calves, you throw the tibialis anterior exercise into it. It has done a lot for me. I personally think I need to do more as far as frequency for the tib raise, but that also helps with quadriceps as well. So I was doing isometrics with the tib raise. I decided not to and decided to go just raw reps for now. So I'm doing single leg, 3 sets of 25 pounds at 40 pounds per leg. Last summer, I definitely was not at that. I think I have doubled my weight on it since last summer. So everything is working well. So let's put those pieces together before we talk about abs, because that, in my opinion, that's the most important thing. So we have calf raise, we have hip thrust, we have the hyperextension, and we have the tib raise, right? Those 4 things. If you think about this like a puzzle piece, even if the calf raises only contributed 5%, what would 5% do for you? Sometimes adding 5% strength to your entire body could be the difference between squatting, X amount of weight and hitting that new plateau that it's just been eluding you for months. Right? So the last thing is the abs. The abs, what I've been doing for these are really simple regarding the rectus abdominis, which are just body weight sit-ups. Cool. On a decline bench, I put the decline all the way up. So you're really feeling that sucker. The lower abs, the ones that's the most stubborn to grow. Yeah, those. So I am just about at 40 pounds, and I put a dumbbell in between my feet. I have my lower back on the ground, and I'm just doing a leg raise. So I'm doing 3 sets of 10 leg raise. With a 40-pound dumbbell in between my feet, and I pray to God that thing never slides through my feet and smashes me on my nose, because that would suck. But 3 sets of 10. The goal is 50 pounds by the end of the year. I'm 100% confident I'm going to get that. Why? And one more thing, the torso rotation. So these 3 exercises are exercises that I swear by. Now, it doesn't mean that these are the only 3 that you do, and every other core exercise on the planet is garbage. I'm just saying that these have worked significantly well for me, especially this torso rotation. If you've ever seen a torso rotation machine, it's not the kneeling one. This is my opinion. The kneeling torso rotation machines, they suck. To me, you may love them. I don't. I never really feel it in my freaking in my obliques ever. The seated torso rotation, dude, I feel it every single time. Like I've never had my internal external obliques just like so freaking shredded as when I do rotation. And plus my core just feels super solid. So what are you getting with that triple setup? You're getting the rectus abdominis, right? The decline sit-ups get all 6, but it's primarily focused on the rectus abdominis, right? Um, uh, you'll have the leg raise with the dumbbell in your feet. So that's going to work the lower abs, right? So now you got those two. And then you have the rotation. So everything is set. You see how strong the core is. What did we just talk about? We talked about anterior chain, the front of your body, and the posterior chain, the hyperextensions. The spinal erectors are also core, by the way, right? It's just on the posterior chain, but that's still the core of your body. It's never felt so strong, right? Yeah, this is really live. And by the way, I'm going to get to everybody's comments as soon as I finish explaining everything. So I'm almost done. So you add onto that. If you've ever done a squat, you understand how much your core is engaged in that movement. So you have all of these percentage points. Let's just say each one increased your squat by 2%, something that most people would be like, whatever, right? So calves, 2%, tib raise, 2%, abs, 2%, glutes, 2%, hyperextension, 2%. I have increased my squatting ability by 10%. 10% doesn't seem like much. It is everything. It is everything. Of course, you have to train the actual movement as well. So now, in addition to all of these exercises I'm doing in addition to the squat, I have to train my squat as well. So it's weird because as I started to do this, the squat just felt safer and safer and safer while the weight is going up and up and up. Meanwhile, my weight is not really going up, right? So for the ironically, this is kind of funny. I wanted to be around 175 for the wedding. The wedding is not today, next Saturday. I missed by 3 pounds. I mean, I could get it next Saturday, but I'd rather not. But I wanted to get down to 175 for the wedding. I'm currently at 178. 178, all this strength. Look at all of what's happened with this routine as a result of some form of isometric. Thank you. Thank you, man. I'm super excited for that, by the way. All of this has been a result of massive time under tension over the course of many months, right? A lot of people sleep on the compound effect. You can't keep doing the right things and lose. That's just not, life has never been designed to do that. Right? So if you take your time, you progressively overload correctly, these types of things are going to happen. There have been times where and by the way, the 405 started April. I think it started April. So I've been squatting in the 400s consistently for about 3-4 months, 4 or 5 months, one of those. You guys know what I'm talking about. Yeah, everything is going well with that. All right, buddy, Jesus. You're never needy like this when I'm not live. Okay, all right. Like I'm starving you or something. My hand has been on his head the entire 29 minutes. That's wild, except when you guys saw him over there. What else did I not tell you guys yet? So I told you guys about the small percentages compounded over time. You train the movement. If you're looking to train the movement for isometrics, you want to train a sticking point, but also train the movement. The cardio. That was the last piece. So with the cardio, You guys saw the eBike video. You know what's funny about that is I had my thoughts on e-bikes, and it depends on what you're using it for. So what I do is I treat the e-bike as just consistent cardio. You don't, by the way, you don't have to ride the e-bike with the assist on. You can ride that sucker with zero assist. Now it's a 66-pound hunk of metal. So I'm not going to cheat myself and ride the assist if my goal is to increase my cardiovascular fitness and my muscular endurance. As a result, my VO2 max has increased by getting that bike. What, I have that bike for about 2 months now, I think. I forgot when I did that promo video. But I'm consistently riding about 3 to 4 times a week. My cardio is some of the best it's ever been. It still needs massive improvement, by the way, because I wasn't doing, I'll be honest, guys, I wasn't really doing much cardio before. But it was a factor. I used to squat and like I felt like I was dying. I'm like, how can y'all talk to people? I can't breathe. One set of squats and I'm like on my back in the middle of the gym floor. I'm sure people thought that I was like, do we need to call 911? Like, I don't know. I don't know. But like that has helped. I've gotten to the point where I can now do 3 sets of 75 sissy squats. I wish I could tell you that they were in a row. They are not in a row. They have to be broken up. But not too long ago, like I would be gassing around 25. What's the X factor? Muscular endurance. Muscular endurance. That's it. That's it. Where was that coming from? The bike. Now, you add both together, you add that whole... What's the right adjective for that? You add all the pieces of the puzzle together. Sometimes I'm on a roll, sometimes I crash and burn. And that's the result. That's the result. You get all the benefits from the increased strength training, the time under tension, the cardio, time under tension, continuously cycling. That's time under tension, right? It's not maximal time under tension. Though if you guys have ever seen Robert Forsterman, he has the biggest quadriceps I've ever seen. He's a cyclist, and he squats like 500 pounds. Like, it's absolutely insane. But it's constant time under tension. So he piggybacks the gains off the cardio to his squat, and he takes the gains from the squat, brings it back to the cardio, and keeps on. And the result are the legs. If you've never seen his quadriceps before, go ahead and check them out after this. Absolutely insane. His quads are about as wide as my waist. It's insane. It's insane. But that is how I've gotten to 425 for squat. Again, I don't know where I'm gonna end up taking this. I'm thinking I want to stop with strength training and start to go for reps, because every time I went for these 1RMs, it's just been singles. And now I'm at the point where I want to go for some reps. So I'm gonna put the safety bar up, obviously. So I'm expecting myself to fail, so I'm just gonna drop the bar behind me. It's no big deal, and go for some fails. So you guys will probably see failures at some point, which is fine, because if you're not trained to failure, what are you doing? Other than that, I think that's pretty much it. Zercher squat, yielding isometrics, focus on core, cardio. 365 squat. Right around February is when I started hitting that. This program started last year, spring of last year, and we're at 425 now. I would say maybe if I didn't have the injuries, that might have been a little faster. But I don't know. I think that's pretty solid. I think the biggest wow factor for me in this leg day journey is how I feel mid squat. When I feel the that range from the Zercher squat Isomax hit during the barbell squat. It's weird, but you just it's something that you just feel when you're doing the squat. It's crazy. So anyway, let me open this up. I do have to leave in like I had to leave in like 5 minutes. I feel like I was talking at you guys, and I hate doing that, but it's just because we're headed. We have to pick some stuff up for the wedding, so like that's why I was like, no, I have to make sure I get this live out. So it is 10:28 Eastern time. I can open this up to 10:35. So I'm gonna go through some of this stuff right now. You love isometrics? Me too, bro. Me too. Isometrics save my knees. I have the stream up here, by the way. So that's what I'm looking at. If I do pull-ups at 90 degrees until failure and then progress once I hit 45 seconds, I add a 10-pound plate. If that's my program, will that cause hypertrophy rather than doing pauses? You're gonna get some hypertrophy from that because it's time under tension. And your load is increased. So yeah, you're gonna get both. Is this really live? Why do I look so squished on the computer? I don't know if I like on my phone here, I'm perfectly proportioned, but on my computer here, it looks like the aspect ratio has me squished. I don't know. Have you watched Tim Ferriss's podcast about isometrics? Scientific paper on it is on its insane results. I have not. I'll definitely check that out. The more things I read about this, still 5 years in, still the better. Okay. Any questions you guys have for me on this topic? I'm gonna open it up. We got about 4 minutes. By the way, thanks for sticking with me this long. I didn't think it would go. I thought I was gonna be done in like 25 minutes, but then I remembered, oh no, this happened. Actually, while you guys are bringing in the questions, I actually had one of my clients. He was like, "So, what are you shooting for, bro?" And I'm just like, I don't know. I'm probably gonna go for more in reference to the squat. I was like, I'm probably gonna go for just reps and not like keep going like building to like 500 or nothing like that because I'm okay. I don't need to do that personally. But like legs has just been like my main move the last couple years. Not to say that I'm not training my upper body at all, like that'd be ridiculous. But like legs has been my main focus because they have just been in a not good place for many, many years. I trained them wrong for many, many years. And for a split second, they were, okay, bro, you clearly skipped leg day type stuff. Even though I never skipped, I just did them wrong. So I'm like, all right, bet. Challenge accepted. I guess I didn't talk about my macros. We could close it out with this. What are my macros? 2800. 2800 protein. 200 on average. 200 grams of protein. I do 180 on my non-lifting days, which is like my weight pretty much. Carbs, plenty of carbs. I think I mentioned this before in another live. Do not ever not intake carbs. Carbs are your fuel sources. It's like driving a car with no gasoline in it. You need carbs. Most people's issues are calories, not carbs. Like you need carbs. Don't not have carbs in your diet. It's literally part of your macros. You need proteins, carbs, and fat. You need those. I don't know, protein shake, 25 grams. No, 20, 21, 22 grams. If you look at my Amazon store, he's selling stuff. You can buy your own. I love the Dymatize brand, and the reason why I like Dymatize is because of the the value that you get for what you pay for. So I get the 60, it's like $65 or whatever, but you get like 63 servings in a tub for $65. That's insane. So like you get like it's essentially $1 per serving. That's incredible. If you can get 1-to-1 off your protein, that's it. Like when people are like, "Oh yeah, get this protein," it's like $40 and you get 18 servings. Stop. That protein better bang if it's gonna be if the ratio is gonna be that messed up. But I believe that what is this? My fiance got like this green stuff. Oh my god, it tastes like but there I don't have enough greens in my diet, so like I put it in my shake when I get the protein shake and stuff. Uh I take a creatine scoop on my lifting days only, and those would be my supplements. I always take a multivitamin, no matter what. Especially as we get older, like multivitamins just become more and more important. Those are literally my supplements. My eating is really boring. It's the same stuff all the time, just seasoned differently. Literally just chicken, rice and or potatoes, and beans. That's it. All right, guys, but I'm gonna pack this up. So we gotta drive about 45 minutes out. So I appreciate you guys. There's no video this week. There's gonna be one more video next week. The content's gonna be a little bit sporadic next week because we got to prepare for the wedding. So kind of a big deal, I heard. And then after that, back to the regularly scheduled programming. All right, guys, I appreciate you. Thank you so much, squad, and hopefully you got a lot of value from this, and we'll see you in the next one.